Hi, I'm Bill Guy, Chairman of Theta Gold Mines. Today's our AGM. There's 22 resolutions that were voted on today. Thank the shareholders for all the support. All resolutions were passed by a vast majority. So thanks to everyone for that and to all the shareholders. We're just going to do a quick little presentation about where we are, what we've done, and what we're going to do in the next 6 months, just to round off the year. So just the title page. Disclaimer, you guys can read at your leisure. So Theta's got 6 million ounces under management, one of the largest resources bases on the ASX held by a junior. Really, it's a Kirkland Lake strategy. Kirkland Lake went down to Australia's first gold rush there, Victoria, and found the next generation of mines. Theta's doing exactly the same thing. Our area was South Africa's first official gold rush there at Pilgrim's Rest. And, the strategy has paid off handsomely, there for Kirkland Lake, and we think it'll pay great dividends for the Theta shareholders. There's 43 historical mines under management, 620 square kilometres of gold field. The reefs there are flat lying, narrow, and extend for kilometre after kilometre. The first 4 mines generate over $500 million USD in free cash post-tax. So, this is a cash generating project. It's got a high margin and a low cost project, all in sustaining costs, $834 US or $1,112 Aussie, which basically puts us in the bottom quartile of costs for producers in Australia and South Africa, which is, very important because that cost base allows us to produce all through the gold cycle. Discovery costs are less than $12 US an ounce, which is a great number. Sometimes those discovery costs can be high. People report all sorts of numbers, but that's a $12 US indicated ounce, which is a great result. We're not a typical South African place. We have a very small population down there. It looks very much like sort of country New South Wales in terms of infrastructure, roads, KFC stores, freeways and tollways. And basically the people that live there are our shareholders. So the local people own 26% of the project. They've marched for us, they signed petitions for us, they lobbied government for us, which has allowed us to get all our permitting underway and in process. We are offering the government a very substantial ESG offset program. We'll be rehabilitating the river system down there. That river runs into the farmland, which supports about 21,000 local jobs. So it's very important that that stream's rehabilitated. That stream also runs into the Kruger. So, Kruger is one of the great national treasures of the world. So we'll be not only saving the farmers, we'll be helping save the Kruger as well. So we can just see the share price here. It's a little bit low at the moment. We've been as high as 41 cents during the year. Usually you have that cycle of discovery and drilling. When you peak out, then you come down through the scoping, pre-fees, pre-development. So now we feel we're on the other side of the valley, as we head to white mine development and production. So now we do expect to see that share price do well in the next year. The top 10 owns 62% of the company. They've been loyal shareholders. They've owned those shares for over 5 years now, most of them. So they're very sticky money. Board of management owns about 9%, got a market cap about 47 million at the moment. So the strategy is to bring the first 4 mines online. So we've got Beta, Riffontein, Frankfurt, and CDM. TGM aims to produce about 1.1 million ounces over 12 years with the current inventory. It'll all be from underground. The underground production plant will process about 45 kilotons a month. We peaks out, we put a high grade gold in at over 5 grams, and we produce between 80 and 100,000 ounces in year 3, and we want to expand within 5 years to 160,000 ounces a year. So the plant is built modularly. The mine design uses mining units. So to get to 100,000 ounces, we need 3 mining units and the initial plant. We add 2 ore streams, you get 2 more mining units, and we get to our 160,000 ounces. So the whole plant is designed to be expanded. The front end of the crushing circuit can handle nearly 100,000 tons a year. And the elution circuit and those central core components can also be expanded. So the idea is to grow, and grow. By adopting modern mining methods, we're able to get that all-in sustaining cost below $900 an ounce, which is a great global number. What makes us very competitive in terms of cost. We'll be pretty much one of the lowest cost producers in South Africa. So really, what have we achieved in the last 6 months? I'm going to read this in sort of chronological order from the bottom up. So TGM Gold Processing Plant Front Engineering. So what that means is we had the design and plans, an engineering design for all that plant to be built. We can hand it over to a plant fabricator and say, build this, which means we also have very good control over our costs and, very firm quotes. We have submitted all our documentation for both the water license and EIA for MR83. Those are massive document packages and include a massive amount of community and stakeholder engagement. It goes around, there was over 7,000 stakeholders identified. All those conversations are recorded and documented, and they all go into that documentation. When the guys deliver this documentation, they had to take a ute. There's a massive amount of paper gone in this, and you also have to deliver it electronically into the DMR and into the water licensing system. Theta completed its DFS. We got a great number out of that. The NPV is only $432 million. So we can see it's a high value project. Compare that to the share price, it compares very well. We've got what we did with the mining information booklet we released in July. The idea was to be very transparent with the market and give a massive amount of extra detail into the market above and beyond what JORC or the ASX required, so people can understand the project better, so mine analysts could look at it and come to a decision with public available information. So I encourage all shareholders to read that mining booklet over the Christmas break. It's about 70 pages, but it'll give you a much better understanding of the company. We got out in September, we got our state forestry license for Frankfurt, which is obviously great news. We also got our atmospheric license. So that means that plant can release carbon into the atmosphere. South Africa is very big on its carbon footprint. Our carbon footprint will be, from our initial studies, will be very low, which is obviously great news. So our gold will have a very low carbon footprint. We've achieved a non-binding term sheet with Sprott, which is great, for 110 million Aussie, 70 million US. So that's, really most of the funding required to build the plant. We need 100, so there's a little gap there, but there's things we can do to level that out a bit. We got our water use license granted for Frankfurt. So Frankfurt is now fully permitted. So what does that mean? We can actually look at options for Frankfurt, and we'll discuss that in the coming 6 months on the next slide. So basically, we expect this quarter for the mines department and the water department to issue a decision about those licenses. We generally expect those. We'll see what happens, but we expect they'll be positive. Once that happens, we enter a 90-day review process for those licenses. So by March, April next year, we should be fully permitted, subject to those timeframes being met. The Sprott due diligence team is on site as we speak, looking at all the data, the mining, the engineering, the environmentals. So we hope to be entering a mining agreement with Sprott early Q1 next year, 2023. But in January, it's exciting for me, we'll be doing some bulk sampling. That bulk sampling will be done at the Frankfurt mine, which is fully licensed. Subject to those bulk samplings being successful through a toll treatment process at one of our neighbors, we'll be able to look at early cash flows, and so which will be exciting to be producing gold, as early as Q1, Q2 next year. So while we're building, developing, and exploring, we can also be making money. Final investment decision, we expect Q2, Q3, and construction. So it's a very busy year for Theta. Funding, building, constructing, delivering all to our neighbor. So it's a very exciting time. Team on site will be working very hard through the Christmas period to get all this done for us. So the workload doesn't stop because it's Christmas. So I'd just like to thank all of the shareholders that voted for us. That's obviously great validation and support for the board. And I'd also like to assure shareholders, we've got a very exciting year coming up next year as well. So enjoy your Christmas break. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you again early in the new year. Thank you.